Hello, my podcast people, and thank you for joining me for yet another episode of my favorite online business podcast. If you are tuning in, listening, watching on the day that it drops, it is Monday, April 13th. I'm looking at myself in the camera. I need a haircut. Welcome to mid-April. I hope them April flowers are blooming, except if you are Trump, ICE, or anyone that is part of or fucking supports this terrible fucking administration. I actually paid $109 the other day to fill up my gas tank. And I am big grateful that, one, I can pay that, but I hardly ever drive. So I fill up my gas tank once every 2 months. I don't know. I drive like 18 miles a week. We're just going to volleyball. But I feel for people that commute and they be driving. Like, yes, I live in a high cost of living area. And gas right now is like, $6.29 a gallon. But it's fucked up. And I have many thoughts around this. Namely, that I don't understand how every single person just can't be over it by now. Like, just fucking over the corruption, the incompetence, the racism, the pedophilia, the lying, the bullshit, there's everything. Just sick of it. You're just like, been sick of it since day one, but I feel like everyone at this point has to be like, just like, you watch a show and the worst people fucking win, and you're like, this is just too much. This is the worst. Like, I don't want to watch this. I'm sick of it. It's giving Walking Dead when Negan killed Glenn. Spoiler, 1,000,000 years ago if you didn't fucking watch that show, but a lot of people stopped watching. It's like, I'm sick of it. This is just the fucking worst. But I know I'm preaching to the choir. And if you're watching this, listening to this, you are just as sick as I am. So I guess I will wrap up that little rant with my usual fuck Trump. Fuck that fucking piece of shit. Fuck Trump. And that'll have to do for today. But pivoting away from the bullshit. We started on a heavy note, but it's just enough. It is fucking enough. But pivoting away from the bullshit. Today I want to talk about some more bullshit. Something that I'm seeing a ton, and I would love to help you get ahead of it, which is stop using AI to write for you. Please, for real, for the love, stop using AI to write for you. I have been doing these website messaging audits, and I am loving them. Right? Quick plug, if you're looking to revamp your website and you're looking to dial in your messaging and you want help making sure that you are speaking to your people and that your voice is coming through so that you can attract your ideal person, I would love to help you. Right? If you want help, we'll link it in the show notes. Thank you, Courtney. Thank you, Jojo. The website messaging on it is the place to start. I'm fucking loving them. The results are great. People are super, super happy. It's great. But part of what I do with the audit is what I call copy consulting. I intentionally don't call it copywriting because I don't just write the things for you. I give suggestions, I give guidance, I give starting points, I tell you what I like, but I'm like, hey, I want you to love this thing at the end. I don't just rewrite the whole thing for you because then it wouldn't sound like you. It would sound like me, or it would sound like me trying to sound like you. Right? And that, except worse, is what happens when you use AI to write for you. It honestly doesn't even sound like you. And on top of that, it doesn't sound like a human. There is no depth. There is no soul. How could there be? It is a computer program that is just doing math. Like, that's how these things work. Right? Quick plug for my other podcast, Prompting Curiosity, episode 34. I've released that maybe 2-3 weeks ago. The title of that episode is 8 AI writing patterns that are dead giveaways. Go read it. You can go read it. It's also a blog post. You can go listen to it. You can go listen to the podcast episode. You can go and read the blog post that I did for it as well. All right. These giveaways. These are, well, yes, we know that like antithesis pattern of like, it's not this, it's this. That's a giveaway. But there are a bunch of giveaways. And if you look at it enough, you read it enough, you can feel it. Like, this is just doesn't, people don't speak like this. And also this feels too in a box and too calculated, right? At the risk of sounding like a transphobe, fuck those people as well. We can always tell, right? We can always tell when you are using AI. Right? Clearly, and I'm saying this, right, clearly as someone who's all aboard the AI train, I love AI, but not for outsourcing your creative writing, not for outsourcing your creativity. This is why I want AI to do all the robotic stuff, all the mundane stuff, all the repetitive stuff, the deterministic stuff, one input, one output, right? So that you can go and lean into and just focus on the creative stuff, right? If you want to use it for summarizing, you want to use it to just present information, fine, right? But anything that is client-facing, that is what I would consider creative, website copy, social media posts, emails, write those things yourself, right? I know that it is tempting I understand. I get it. I get that it's tempting to just push the button, write the prompt, push the button, and then like something appears. Right. And the blank page, when you're sitting there trying to create, it can feel daunting. Perhaps more accurately, named, it can feel, especially if you've been doing this for a bit, as opposed to feeling daunting, it can feel just annoying as fuck to have that blank page in front of you. You're like, oh, I gotta fucking do this again. I gotta write another fucking email. I get that. I also know that AI is exciting. That's a big part of it. It's that dopamine hit that you're like, what will it generate? That's what keeps people on social media, right? It keeps you like, whoa, what might I see next? It's going to the casino, right? That's what people post. And they're like, well, maybe this poll I win. Maybe this poll I win. AI is like that because you're like, what's it going to generate this time? Right? And I promise you, it may sound good at first when you first read it, but it's not as good as you think. And it's not as good as you could create. Right? And the main reason for that, it sounds good and feels good, and you're like, oh yeah, this is it, is that you know what you're trying to say. And sometimes like that, you just want to get it done. You're just like, I just fucking need something on the paper that gets the point across. Right? I get it. And in creating this, you're creating for someone else. So you don't care as much. I'm going to say it. Right? Which can make the words that it spits out, it can make them seem good. The words check all the boxes. It's kind of like those prefabricated houses, right? And you're just the developer. You're not making the house for you. I'm actually like literally looking out the window right now, and they're building a house, 3 on a lot, right there, right? And it goes up quickly. It checks all the boxes, right? You're not the developer's not living there, right? They have lots of these going on in my neighborhood, right? It has walls, it has windows, it has doors. Finally, it's starting to get siding. It's clean, and it has zero fucking personality. Right? That is what it's like when people use AI to write. Right? The biggest issue when you use AI to write for you is that AI doesn't take into account, it doesn't capture how you want it to feel, how you want that thing that you're making to feel. It doesn't take into consideration how you want the reader to feel. It has no fucking soul. It's like these houses that are going up. I'm all for making more houses. I am by no means a NIMBY. I don't even own a shit here. I'm like, good, make more houses. But like, can they have some fucking personality? They look the exact same. It's very weird. I live in Southern California. I used to actually not like the Spanish style roofs. I live in a house. It's a duplex that has the Spanish style, and I fucking love it. And anytime I see these like bland ass, basic bitch farmhouses going up, I'm like, it's Southern California. What is happening? They turn them around fast. They just look cheap. It looks like it'd be really echoey. You go in there and you'd be like, I could just hear everything in every room. Like, not ideal. No fucking soul. No soul. That's what it's like when people are putting content out, any kind of written copy that is written by AI. It just got no soul. Right, so circling back to the title of this episode, your voice is a competitive advantage. Honestly, your voice has always been a competitive advantage. But as we continue to be bombarded with AI-generated content, brands and businesses that use words that are written by humans, they will have a competitive advantage. Not only will you stand out, not only will they stand out, but folks, they are going to seek out that type of content, that type of copy more and more. They want it from a human. They want it to have soul. Right? One of the tenets of supply and demand that I actually believe to be true, right? Because one of the things I don't like is like supply and demand. If people want it, then you should raise the price. And I'm like, but why? You don't have to. Right? But one of the tenets of supply and demand that I actually do believe in is that when supply goes up and then supply gets pushed on people and forced on people, demand for that thing, desire for that thing goes down. Not immediately, but eventually. Right? People get sick of it. Right? We see such rapid changes in the AI landscape for precisely this reason, right? It can generate content, it can generate copy, it can generate code. Notice I didn't say quality or high quality, but it can generate those things very quickly. And then folks just be putting it out everywhere. And we see that increased supply followed by what we'll consider to be interruption marketing. It gets shoved in everyone's throat. And that makes people not want it. Think back to our own experience with Instagram. Remember the big yellow subtext, the subtitle text that Hormozy was really popularized? Where'd that go? I don't see people using that editing style anymore. Why? Because people stopped wanting it. And you force it on people ad nauseum, in bulk. People stop wanting to get tired of it. So, yes, from a business perspective, folks are very easily sniffing out AI-generated writing, and they don't want it, or they're going to stop wanting it. I feel like such a boomer, but I'm like, this is bad. Like, it reads flat, right? And more than I care about people not wanting it, I just want to encourage you as a creator to not want to produce and promote that type of content and have your name be associated with that, right? It is flat, it's lifeless, it's algorithmic, it's calculated, it's careful, it's predictable, it's boring. One of my favorite books, y'all know, I'm not like a big reader, but one of my favorite books, especially from growing up, was The Giver. And in The Giver, like, they don't see in color, at least as how I remember it. And that's what this writing feels like, right? It's all the same. It's flat. It's sterile. It checks the boxes, but there's no experience with it, right? I have always categorized content creation as, and viewed it as making art. And perhaps if you too view it that way, you see the absolute faux pas that it is to use AI to make it. I am not against AI because it can do that, right? I just think it's a whack use for it. Right? Full transparency, if you don't know, I have Claude generate the show notes and the newsletter/blog for my other podcast, Prompt and Curiosity. Right? And I intentionally use the word generate there because it is generating it from a comprehensive ass outline that I write. Right? It's literally just like, for the show notes, it's just summarizing it, which is fine. And then for the companion, which is what I call the blog, Curious Companion, it is just like connecting sentences. It's not injecting its own thoughts into it. It's just like, it is annoying for me to have to go back and like turn this bullet. It's a full ass bullet point. It's a sentence, but there's no punctuation. Things aren't capitalized. And I'm like, can you just go back and do that and just format this for me? All right. So I have it do that. And then once it generates that, I go through it and I edit the whole thing and I inject the personality into it. I'm like, because sometimes it'll cut the sentences short. And as you can see how I speak, I write like I speak. And sometimes my sentences are very long. And I love using parentheses. I love a parenthetical. Never use an em dash. Never used one in my whole life. Don't know how to use one. Use parentheses all the time. Lex actually came in the other day because I automated my workflow where I can just, it makes the files for me. It moves things around for me, which is really cool. But she came into the office. She was like, I thought you like had Claude doing this for you. And I was like, no, it just like moves stuff around. I just have to go through this whole thing and edit it and make sure that it sounds like me and it feels like me, because it's taken what is an outline with, you know, the dash and indents and stuff like that, and it's turned it into paragraphs and into sections. But I got to make sure it sounds like me. I make sure it still has my voice and it sounds like a fucking human. Because sometimes it just staccatos the sentences, and I'm like, I would not speak like that. Join these things together. Right? I never, ever have it just create a blog post or create an email. Claude could never. Right? It could never do it. Can't do what I do. And same for you. Your voice is a competitive advantage. Your voice is a differentiator. Your voice is a gift. Please use it. All right. Short episode today. Love this. Gonna wrap it up there. I actually gonna make another point here. It's not in the outline, but you know, this episode is now 12:50. So like the intro, it'll be about like 14, 15 minutes long. It's just how it came out today, right? I'm more passionate. I had the beginning part and I'm ranting about fucking Trump. And then I'm going through this faster because I'm passionate about this. The robot could never. It doesn't have that. It doesn't pull these things in. It doesn't pull in its own personality, its own beliefs, its own experience of things to change the cadence, right? It creates a different feeling. It's just algorithmic. It is just doing math and spitting it out. It can't do what you can do. So don't ask it to do what you can do. Right? Ask it to do the bullshit. Ask it to do the moving things around and, you know, the copy paste, but do not outsource your voice to AI. It cannot capture it. All right. Gonna wrap it up there. A reminder, if you want some help using your voice to communicate your message and attract the right people, check out my messaging services, namely the website Messaging Audit. Remember, it's not copywriting, it is copy consulting. I'm here to help you bring out your voice, not just have you outsource things. So yes, there is work that you get to do. And you need to do, but man, it's a fun fucking process. It is a fun process, and it's a great service. Y'all, it's fucking great service. I said what I said. All right, officially wrapping it up there. As always, endlessly appreciative for every single one of you. Until next time, friends, Maestro out.